Hi, folks. Welcome to Wednesday's Coffee with Jesus. We're still with the Samaritan woman, and we're with the disciples now returning. So, John chapter 4, verses 27. Just then his disciples returned and were surprised to find him talking with a woman. But no one asked, "What do you want?" or "Why are you talking with her?" Well, let's leave it with that. Talking with a woman. Now, there are so many cultural things involved here and historical things. So we'll come on to the modern day in a moment, but let me just quote to you from a rabbinical saying: "Man shall not be alone with a woman in an inn, not even with his sister or his daughter, on account of what men may think. A man shall not talk with a woman in the street, not even with his own wife, and especially not with another woman, on account of what men may say." I remember when I was at university, I was sharing a room with another guy who's wasn't a believer at all. And one day I came in and there was this beautiful blonde girl sitting on my bed. And it turns out that I have so many cousins that she was a cousin or a second cousin or something, and was in the area and just wanted to say hi, and so we did that and went away. When I came back, and he said, "Who was that?" I said, "Oh, that was my cousin." He went, "Yeah, right. You religious people are," I just thought, wow, you can't even talk to somebody. Well, society has changed so much. When I first started in ministry, I had no qualms at all about visiting women, even young female students in their own homes, on my own. I couldn't do that now, could I? I mean, it would just automatically be misinterpreted and would be seen as wrong. Maybe then you might even say it was wrong, but there was no harm or evil or any kind intended. And that's what's happening here with Jesus. He's speaking to this woman on her own, and the disciples are astonished, but they don't want to criticize him. What do you want, or why are you talking with her? And I've been thinking a lot about how we treat one another and the genders and so on, and it's so desperately sad for me that in my lifetime I am seeing women being treated worse, often because of, well, I think major factors for me are the transgender issue, pornography and the objectification of women, the collapse of marriage, and the almost disdain for so many for motherhood. Louise Perry, in The Case Against the Sexual Revolution, sums it up brilliantly. I'll just say part of this. "What we need today," she says, "is a new morality, a new set of virtues. The sexual revolution has failed, but women and children are the greater losers. We have smoothly transitioned from one form of feminine subservience to another, but we pretend that this one is liberation." And this great line: "When motherhood became a biological choice for women, fatherhood became a social choice for men." I think the way that Jesus treated this woman was wonderful. I think that it's a model to us of how we are to treat people. I think all forms of misogyny within the Christian church are to be condemned. But you are not to say equally that everything that admits there's a distinction between male and female, or that we don't always have the same roles, that is misogyny. I don't think it is at all. But they're surprised to find him talking with a woman. I wonder how much that still happens. I just read the most dreadful case about a man, a minister in Scotland, in the Free Church Continuing, who they thankfully have deposed. I mentioned this in the podcast, who used what he thought, or maybe he didn't even think it, maybe he was just a complete hypocrite, was biblical teaching about the subservience of women as a cloak for his sexual perversion and abuse. Utterly disgusting. Christ condemns that, and he absolutely also, I think, condemns those who would seek to make women lesser beings or just objectify them. So if you're one, you're as much made in the image of God as I am, and we're brother and sister if you are in Christ, and I hope that is the case. See you tomorrow. Bye.